Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin and I'm from the United States and I would really love to be your team leader. So I thought first I'd start off by telling you a little bit about myself and then I want to talk more about why I want to be the team leader and why I think I'm qualified, and then end with a few ideas I have for the project moving forward. But first I want to apologize because I don't know why the audio and video are slightly off, so please try to look past that. So I go to school here in Emerson in Boston. My major is political communication and I am a senior. I'll be graduating in December, so I still have a little bit of time left. Currently, I work in the governor's office here in Boston, Massachusetts. I work in the Office of Community Affairs. I do a lot of work with the Governor's Statewide Youth Council and with community outreach, so I have experience working with lots of different groups of people. Other than that, previously I've interned at the governor's office in Georgia, which is where I'm from. There I worked in the Office of Workforce Development. I've also interned at a local state rep's office here in Massachusetts, and I've interned for a local newspaper in Georgia. So, recently, I went on a public diplomacy trip to Kazakhstan with Professor Payne, who is one of the Emerson professors involved in the Globcom project. I really enjoyed that. I have never been anywhere in that part of the world before, and it was nice to experience public diplomacy firsthand. Other than that, my favorite trip I've ever been on was this past summer. I went to Egypt. I have always really wanted to go there, so it was amazing to finally have that experience. So as you can probably tell, I really love working internationally, or I guess I've never really worked internationally, although I have worked with my Arabic school some, and so I've had to deal with the time zones, but that's only this time zone and that time zone, not several different ones. Anyway, I hope to work internationally in the future. I want to do a little bit of consulting, so we'll see where that goes. I do have a little bit of PR experience, although I have to admit that, it's not my main focus or my main area of study, and I am definitely looking to learn more from this project. Other than that, just things about me. I'm really interested in foreign policy, international relations in general, particularly the Middle East, and I just love learning about any area of the world. So I'm very happy to have friends from all of these new countries. So the reasons I want to be the team leader include I'm very organized. I promise I make more lists than any human being should make. It just helps me get rid of my stress. I'm sure some of you do that too. So I'm very organized. I have schedules and lists, and I make sure I never fall behind on deadlines. Other than that, I know how to delegate tasks, which obviously is a really important thing to do when you're having to work with 25 to 30 people and you need to get a huge project done in a limited amount of time. Like I said, I have a little bit of experience working internationally, although it's not on this scale. I think most importantly is that I'm willing to admit things I don't know. Like I said, I don't have the most amount of PR experience of anyone on this team, but I do think I'm a good leader, and I'm more than happy to listen to anyone, any problems you're having, either within smaller groups or if you're just stressed about this project. I'm a good listener, and I think that's also really important in a leader, because I think that people want to work for leaders that they really like as human beings, and people want to work for people that they want to work for. And that sounds, obvious, but I think it's important for people to get along personally with the person who is in charge of their job. I'm not in charge of your job, but not going to fire you. So just a few basic ideas I have. Obviously, we've already thrown around the idea of dividing up into teams based on skill or area we want to work on. Like communication or things like that. And people listed their preferred area on Maria's Google Doc, which was really useful to see what everyone is interested in. I know Kate suggested, and you can scroll down if you haven't seen it, using this website. I think it's a website called Trello. Also not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it looked really useful because you can see each group can have its own sort of like area, and you can see what everyone else is doing and keep track of that just to make sure everyone is keeping up with deadlines and making sure that everything is moving forward as it should. So whatever way we divide up, whether it's on teams based on interest, or it's been suggested that we divide it up based on, like, essentially however we decide to do the project, divide it up based on tasks, specific tasks of the project in a different way. I don't know if that makes sense. I can explain more if you have questions. Either way, I, as your hopefully leader, would want to be and need to be, I suppose, a contact person for each group to make sure that we are staying on task on every task. And like I said, I don't want to dictate that. I just want to make sure everyone, is moving forward smoothly and that we're getting everything done in the time period that we have. Other than that, I just want to say that I'm really, really excited about this project. Whether or not I end up being elected team leader, I definitely want to be really heavily involved in how we move the project forward and what we do. I really also am very happy to be going to South Africa, hopefully. And I think we have a lot to work with, particularly if you look at point number 3 under the expectations of the client section in the briefing. In my public diplomacy class and just outside, I've seen some examples of how countries do nation branding, and I think there are a lot of really good things that we can draw from. So I'm excited to see how everyone is inspired by those and what other ideas people come up with. And so I hope you vote for me, but most importantly, I hope everyone has a really